I met with Graham last night, and we found out what the weights were this morning, and we sort of said, well, that's going to be our priority. I've scratched him from the Gold Cup. If he runs a tour before the National, it will be the World Hurdle. But if that in any way is going to forego our chance in the National, he won't run. He'll go straight to Aintree. And on handicap marks, he's been given a great chance. You think he's £4 lower than what he ran in the Hennessy. So, we've got to give it a go.
And the way he jumps and stays, he looks tailor-made for the Grand National.
I think so, because you can ride him from behind, let him take his time, and then let him, creep into the race. And obviously, he's in the form of his life this year. So, yeah, it's great to aim him for it.
And you've also got joined together in the race. He ran a blinder in the Beecher when he finished second.
No, I think he ran really well that day. We've always thought he'd be a national horse. He ran well that day. I haven't run him all winter purposely because the ground's been bad. He's due to run at Doncaster, and he's a horse that we really set out our stall to train him for the race from when he came in, not be too hard on him. So, he is the sort of horse who could run really well. He loved jumping around there before in the Beecher chase, and that's what you want. And another stride either one. What did Neptune carry? I think 11.5 or 6 last year, 10.12, so fine.
Quick word on Harry the Viking and What a Friend.
Well, What a Friend's very much similar profile to Neptune last year. He's been off for a little bit of an injury. He's been placed in Gold Cups. He's won a Lexus, and he ran in the race before and ran ordinary 2 years ago. But he just had a very hard race in the Gold Cup. If we trained him and had him fresh and he ran up to his old form, would definitely be one who'd have a chance. And Harry the Viking would want good ground. He was placed in the 4 miler last year, second to T for free. Ground's been wrong for him all winter, and we just waited with him. And again, he's sort of horse who could run really well.
I'm happy with all the weights. I think a lot of trainers are worried about getting into the race. So we've got I think 4 in and maybe 1 to go, and I'll be happy enough with that.
And Prince de Beauchamp made a really pleasing comeback last time over hurdles.
He did on horrible ground at Limerick at Christmas. He'll probably go for the Bobby Joe Chase in Ferryhouse now, which is always a great stepping stone for the National. That'll be his plan. And then we have Kelesprit ran a fantastic race the other day in Leopardstown behind Sir Deschamps now, and I thought he was going really, really well to the second last. Paul told me that he just blew up. So I'll try and get another run into him as well and go there. Then On His Own has a nice weight. He was running well last year when he fell, and if he can just put his jumping together this year. I mean, he was doing nothing wrong last year. He was jumping fantastic, just one of those things. So I'm looking forward to getting him back there, but we haven't got a run into him yet this year. He'll just had a few training problems early in the season. We decided to take things easy. Everything is coming together now. He's ready to run. I don't think I'm going to go for the Bobby Joe, but you never know. I'd love to try and get 2 runs into him before the National. It's just very hard to go there without a run. I think you couldn't. And hopefully get 2 runs into him, and that'll leave him right. Then Lambro probably won't go. And Quiscover Fontaine is just out of the ballot stage, but I imagine with 1 or 2 defections that he should get in. And he was running a great race there a couple of years ago when he came down. So he's one, if he gets in, I'd be looking forward to as well.
And what about Call the Police, because he's in there as well? He seems like he'd take really well to Aintree. He's a really good jumper.
He is. I'm going to see how he gets on at Cheltenham. He'll probably go to Cheltenham and then we'll make a decision. But he was running very well in Punchestown last year. We might just come back there. However, there's a lot of water to go under the bridge before we make a final decision on his participation.
And which would you say is your best chance in the National this year?
Well, I think if I can get Prince de Beauchamp there in form, he's built to carry the weight, he jumps well, he's probably good enough to run in the Gold Cup, and he's the one I'd like to be riding anyway if I was a jockey, I think.
I would prefer he was 7 pound lighter, but that's the way it is. He's a great little horse, really, but he needs a bit of good ground and a bit of sunshine on his back, really. So we'll see how things go at Cheltenham. He'll go there for the Ryanair, and then we'll have a rain check after that.
I know you've also got Sonny Hillboy in there who went so close last year. Do you think he could go one better this year?
Well, that's the plan, He's in grand form. He's had a couple of spins over hurdles. The last time he ran disappointing really, but it was really heavy old ground, and it kind of pulled him around quite a lot, so he came back pretty stiff and sore. But he's in grand form again now, so again you'd like it to dry up a little bit really, and he'll have a run at Cheltenham, either over hulls or fences, and then straight to entry hopefully, and go one better is the plan, but he might not, you never know.
And another that could go well is Alfie Sharon, who's been in good form.
He is. He might struggle to get in though, you know. But if he gets in, we'll have a look at it anyway for sure, you know. He's also in the Irish National, so we'll see where we go. We'll see how the handicap goes and take it from there, you know.
And a quick word on the two of your other runners.
Well, Lost Glory kind of was a horse improved through the summer, and he jumps quite well. And if he gets in, I'm sure we'll have a go with him. He's had a long break now, but he also wants goodish ground, to be fair, so they all want good ground really. Mr. Hyde kind of blotted his copybook a little bit the other day at Sandown, so he'll have to do a bit better at Cheltenham or something like that to get back into the handicap really. But he'd be a lovely horse to ride around there, and he jumps well. If he gets in, he will definitely run, but we'll have to wait and see.
Nice weight to have. He's run in the National before, unfortunately, unshipped Graham Lee, but he's a national type horse. Ran very well in the Hennessy, and if he can come back to that kind of form, then that must put him in with a chance. He jumps well in the main, stays well, and has a high cruising speed. So he's a horse that likes better ground as well, and hopefully it'll be slightly better come April.
What about Swing Bill? He's also entered this year. He quite likes the national fences.
He does, he loves them. He's Mr. Reliable. Might not be the classiest horse in the race, but ran very well last time. Would have been closer last year if he hadn't made a mistake at the chair, and he'll go there and put up a good show. He's having a better preparation this year than last year, so you never know. They'll probably both have another run. Whether it'll be at Cheltenham or not, I don't know. The package could go to the Grimthorpe at Doncaster, and Swing Bill could go for a veterans race, but they'll definitely have another run somewhere.
And a quick word on your other two, Problematic and Matui.
Matui probably won't get in, and Problematic, he was running well in the Beecher Chase before he fell. We've given him time to get over that. He's got the ability for a race like the National. Might not be quite experienced enough as yet, so we may wait till next year, but saying that, we'll see what happens in between. He'll have another run, if not two, and we'll see after that.
Yeah, I think it's a very attractive weight in all honesty. Last year we were hoping to come here after the Hennessy, and I think he was allotted 10-13 last year, so to get a bit less weight again is even better really, and he's got all the right attributes to win a race like this, but unfortunately he's had the tendon strain, he's had his time off, he's fitting well at the moment and cantering every day. I would have preferred to have got a run into him, but it's the handy, the cards I've been dealt, and but very much looking forward to it for him really.
You've always thought he'd make a national horse. What is it about him?
I think he's bred to stay. He's won a Scottish Grand National. He's second in the 4 miler at the festival, and he just stays so well. Really, he's very accurate with his jumping, and considering he's such a big horse, he seems to be able to lengthen and fiddle, and he's not over exuberant, which often can be the undoing of many national horses. He handles good ground. It's a nice flat track, which I think he prefers, and everything just leads me to think he really has got a great chance if he goes there fitting well as he can be really. I would think we'll go straight to the National now. We probably won't take in a prep run. Having had the strain of his tendon, time would be against us really, and I just think with him especially it would be easier now to just keep him in one piece and go straight there. Our other lad, St. Al, probably taking a run. He's in Ascot on Saturday in the Racing Post Chase, and he'll definitely have a run. He's obviously only had the 3 runs in. He's won at both the Grand National meetings the last 2 years. He's in great form. We haven't over-campaigned him this winter due to the ground conditions. Really, it's been so heavy, and I was always minded once we passed Christmas to think, right, okay, we just get the weights unveiled before we get too busy with him really. So he loves the track, he loves the ground, he loves the spring. I think he'll definitely stay the trip. Possibly he's a young horse to be contending with the National, but the French bred seem to be that much more precocious than the English and Irish bred, so hopefully he'll go there in one piece in good form, and you never know.
And a quick word on Tartat.
Yeah, look, He's slipped down the handicap and now considerably. The plan was really the Cheltenham Festival with him in the first instance, and we'd sort of worry about the national after that. Obviously now, I think he's 68 in at the weight. It would be borderline whether he'd get in, but if he does and he's in good form, he'll definitely line up and take his chance. And he seems, every time we step him up in trip this year, he seems keep getting it and staying on. So actually 4 miles plus would probably suit him now.
Do you think there could be a Welsh winner this year?
I think, look, there's been no better year to have a chance. The T for 3 and Beshabar, Kappa Bleu, they're all Saint Ard, they're all proper horses with proper chances, and none of them are too far out in the betting. So I'd say if we're ever going to have one, it could just be this year. And pray to goodness it's one of mine.
Now I'm joined by trainer Venetia Williams, who of course won the Grand National in 2009 with Monmouth. You've just had a look at the weights. What have you made of them? Katenko on 11.4.
Oh, I must admit that's pretty steep. He's only a 7-year-old. He's won 2 decent handicaps, but he's up there amongst all those horses that have been, right at the top of the tree for a few seasons. And I think Phil's been quite tough on him.
And would he be likely to run in the Gold Cup and the Grand National?
We'll play that by ear, but certainly at this stage there's no reason to suspect not. Summary Justice hopefully is going to run in the Racing Plus Chase on Saturday week. And if he wins that, which is a great race in its own right, a £5 penalty would do his chances no harm in trying to get into the Grand National.
And you obviously won it in 2009 with Monmouth. How does Katenko compare to him?
Do you can hardly get 2 more dissimilar horses. To begin with, Monmouth is fairly small. Katenko is huge. They both got a similar attitude. They're very aggressive horses in their approach. But as regards similar types, no, very dissimilar.
So do you think Katenko would take well to the National?
Well, I hope so, and certainly since the alteration of the structure of the fences, I have to say that's certainly given me more encouragement to run horses like Katenko.
It looks very good at the moment. Yeah, very excited.
He's a very exciting horse for you, isn't he? He's beaten Katenko, who's the leading contender for this year's Gold Cup.
He is, yeah. I think we beat him off almost level weights at Ascot. We outstayed him that day, so it's been rather nice really sitting at home watching Katenko go on and win a couple more, so it's great.
He's a really tough, gutsy horse, isn't he?
He's a big horse, he's 17.2, but he's got a great battling quality. He doesn't know when he's beaten, bless him, so he should be ideal.
When will he be running again? Is he entered for the weekend?
Yeah, he runs 2 weeks' time in the Racing Plus Chase. He's off a very low weight there as well, so we'll see what happens there.
So how do you rate his chances in that race?
Well, on what Katenko's done and the form the horse is in, I think he'll take a lot of beating.